Hi guys, Dash is here, and if this doesn't work with him, then I'm going to start over because he's in a little bit of a hungry mode. And the one day that I decide on a time, both of my babysitters are golfing or traveling. So we're here, and I'm here to talk to you about fasting and how to make it work for you. So it can be a really powerful tool. Yes, I'm typing to the phone. If you know what you're doing when you're playing around with how you eat, when you eat, the foods you eat, of course, and your workouts and timing them and putting them all in a very specific order. Not that it has to be like only this one way. There's always room to play, and there's always room to make things your own, which is the beauty of life and health and your body and changing things. But you want to know, actually, as always, what you're doing and why. So then you can actually get behind it and follow through with it. And I always love understanding, how does this action in regards to my health impact my physical self? How does, like fasting, for example, how does that actually work to help with weight loss? Because when you understand that, you might hopefully be motivated or inspired to then go and work that tool, right? And it's the same with food. If you understand what your body is looking for, what your body's asking for, you understand what the current state of your body is telling you, what shifts can be made, then it's simply a matter of editing it and changing it and tweaking it so that you start to see the movement from inside out in the direction of what you want, which for most people, and what I'm speaking to right now, is weight loss and getting toned to that Pilates body type of shape and health status, okay? So first, let's just talk about fasting. So fasting is like super, super popular, and there's some people that say it's horrible for you, and some people say it's like the best thing ever. And so I want to explain where I land on this. So everything is not for everyone, and it never will be. And working with fasting for a person who is like healthy, you don't have health conditions per se. I mean, everyone probably has some, but you just want to get in shape and you want to lose weight, then it totally can work. The only time I wouldn't be doing it is if you have like extreme fatigue. So if you have adrenal fatigue, or you just had a baby, or you're pregnant, like newly pregnant, and you're struggling with food or things like that, well, you're probably already fasting anyways, like I was for 17 weeks because I could not eat very much. But anything related to fatigue, related to adrenals, you don't want to be fasting for hours and hours and hours, because you're going to inhibit your progress in healing your adrenals, which has to happen if you want easy and effective weight loss anyways, okay? But that's just for people with those type of symptoms, okay? But if you're just a healthy person and you want to be healthier and you want to utilize fasting to reshape your body and to lose fat, then it totally works. And I always say that everybody sort of is using intermittent fasting if you don't eat way too much at night, and then you give yourself some space in the morning, right? Because you have that extended time over the night when you're sleeping, and if that is happening to any extent, then you are doing some kind of fasting. My hair is like static. You are doing some kind of fasting by just going to sleep and not eating, and then waking up, waiting a little bit, and then eating again. So, or you have a baby like me who is waking up like constantly all night long, but I'm still not eating. I'm just drinking a lot of water and staying awake and peeing and so on, but I'm still fasting, right? So it's most effective overnight, okay? And if you can do that to any extent, and then do the next steps in the right order, then you will be making progress towards that shift that you want towards losing fat and therefore slimming down and getting toned, okay? So the key is that you have an extended window, and it's really nice if you can get like at least 12 hours, which isn't hard to do, right? If you like go stop eating at like 8 or even 8:30 or even 8:30, like 9, and then you don't eat till 8:30, 9 in the morning, right? So that's like the simplest way, and then you might not even consider that you're doing any type of fasting. So typically, if you're like a little bit more focused with it, you might move it to like 14 or 16 hours if you want. And I'll tell you the easiest way that I think for most people, which is to finish your last meal of the day. It's not like it has to be at 4 or 5 or early bird special or anything, but 7, 8, 9 or whatnot, and then go to bed, and then go through the morning and skip your breakfast, okay? So this, of course, goes up against the thought that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And really, there's always somebody that's saying something like this, right? And you just have to understand how things work and impact you inside, and then you can decide and choose if you want to use it or if you want to not use it to your advantage, right? So if you eat and say like you finish your dinner at 7 or 8, then don't eat later at night. Don't eat dessert. Just have water. Just have like herbal tea if you would need anything after that. And then go to bed, sleep, wake up, and then don't eat until, so if you finish at like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like noon, right? So typically what people do is they'll just skip the morning and not eat till noon or 1. And it might sound like extreme or whatever, but it actually isn't when you actually do it. Your body will adapt. And it's also the case where you don't have to do this every day of your life, right? So every time you do anything for your body, you make a energy difference. And so getting results, getting leaner, getting toned, losing weight, it's all about adding up the shift in the energy towards that tipping point versus wherever you are right now, or going the other way and gaining weight, right? So you could do this every other day. You could do this the first 3 days of the week. You could do it 4 days a week and pick the days, and it doesn't even matter, right? But you are just practicing the fast, and the fast in itself is where you're creating that shift, okay? So let me explain what's happening here in case you don't know. So fasting, like intermittent fasting, it's important that everybody does it. Like I said before, it's important that everybody stops eating, goes to sleep, allows a window of time for the body to recalibrate, to cleanse, to detox, to shift out the old and prepare for the next day, the next window of food intake and life. And when you push it or when you extend it, even 2 more hours, 3 or 4 more hours, essentially what you're doing is you're just giving your body a break from work. And so your body's biggest work is digesting food. And so when you either don't eat or just drink liquids like water, lemon or lime water or herbal teas, then you are giving your body space. And instantaneously, when you stop getting in the way of eating inflammatory things, acidic things, triggering things, or just any things, your body has room, it has more space to go to work and then do its thing and do what it knows to do. So the beautiful thing about that is, like, you don't have to know what your body's doing. You just have to know that every time you help your body have less work to do, that it is beneficial for you, right? And so if you can give it a couple extra hours, then all that's happening is that your body has more cleanup time. And when it has more cleanup time, it has more cleanup time because you haven't put anything new in. So the first thing that you put in, that tells your body that, okay, my break is over, my time for cleansing, my time for detoxification is now over, which means that I am not in elimination mode, I'm not in cleanse mode anymore, but what mode am I in is food processing. I'm now in digestion mode, and so it's actively turned on and it's dealing with the food that's coming in. And remember, that doesn't just like come in and instantly be finished, especially depending upon what you put in first, right? So if you fast, then there's nothing. And so the body then has that time, right? And what you guys need to know is that health comes from healthy elimination, and weight loss comes from a clean system inside and healthy elimination in all channels. And so when you open up and you give back energy to the gut, to the digestive system, not just the stomach, but the whole thing, because it's a huge system, then the body will inherently know and go and take that energy to go towards further detox, further cleansing, because it's such an important thing that is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing, because there's always food coming in and you're always being bombarded by toxins and chemicals, things in the environment that you can control and that you can't control, or that we don't control as well as we could. So there's always work to do. So really the results come from decreasing work and increasing time and space. And so that's what fasting does, okay? So it's very valuable. And then, you want to like also understand why it matters what the first thing is that you eat, okay? So you can do that window where you go to sleep or eat dinner, be done by 7:30, go to sleep at whatever you go to sleep, or don't go to sleep if you have a baby like mine, and then wake up and then water. I don't care if you're fasting or not fasting, but water. I always say this, right? And then your workouts. So where do you put a workout so that your fasting works for you? Well, you put it anytime before you eat the food and before you break the fast, like your breakfast, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's right before, or it doesn't matter if it's when you get up right away and you just like want to get your workout done and then you still don't eat for a little bit longer. That seems to work good for me, because after I work out, I'm not necessarily like starving, but if you are, then you would want to do your workout like right before you were going to then break the fast, okay? So let's say you were gonna break your fast at noon, then maybe work out at 10, 10:30, 11, and then you can eat right away, okay? But anything that you do, like I said, it's gonna help and it's gonna be beneficial as long as you don't have adrenal issues. So here's the other important thing. Hi baby. You guys wanna see Dash's outfit? It's one of those kicky pants, like bamboo. I got it at Von Mar, and then he got blueberries all over it. So when I say workout, it matters what kind of workout you do, okay, as always. So I'm speaking to the woman who wants to lower fat, lower fat, and therefore be leaner and more toned. This is not funny. He pulls my hair all the freaking time, okay? So let's say you do your fasting and you get up and you're like ready to do your workout. Now, if you go to the gym and you lift weights, like that's fine and good, but that's not gonna be as powerful as if you do cardio, okay? So the point of fasting, not only is it to give the body energetic space, to give it more time to work and clean things out for you so that therefore you make progress. Oh shoot, it's okay. He tips over quite a lot. But the point is that you use it to your advantage for fat loss. And when you do cardio exercise, that's where you're going to mobilize the stored fat instead of strengthening your muscles and toning your muscles, okay? So both are needed, both are necessary. You have to have strength training, right? You can't tone your bicep or tricep, and actually if you want lean arms, you have to do both plus your shoulders and 3-dimensional rotation, but you can't lose like the flab on the back of your arm from bicep curls and tricep because that's fat, right? So you have to get rid of the fat. And so that comes from burning fat. And that means it's stored. And so it has to be mobilized, and it has to be safe, which means you have to be healthy inside as far as toxin load, which is very highly impacted, hugely impacted by diet. And then you've got to move your butt, and you've got to get your heart rate up, and you've got to be burning energy. And so that means you move, and that means cardiovascular exercise, okay? So I'll do another live stream for you on like cardio, strength training, like which ones or whatever, but more specific on those. But like you have to do the cardio after the fast before you break the fast. It doesn't matter if you do Pilates, other than like your stomach won't be full, and it's not going to be a push-pull in terms of, or like a tug of war of energy, right? Because everything is energy. So that's why you know that you don't go on a run after you eat lunch. Like you might think it's so you don't barf. Well, the reason that you barf is because when you run, you're using a lot of large muscle groups. When you do cardio, you're using a lot of large muscle groups, and that is requiring oxygen, and your heart is a very large muscle group system. So if you need oxygen to go throughout your body for your muscles and for your lungs, and your heart's pumping and pumping, and you just ate, then there's a huge battle between heart's pumping oxygen and digesting this food. And so that's why we don't do that. We take away the battle, and so then you have an easier time on your run, plus you're actually burning the stored fat, okay? So you can do Pilates, or you can do weightlifting, or you can do anything like toning, muscle strength workout while you're fasted, but that's not to your benefit for weight loss, like doing the cardio is. Does that make sense? So you have to use the method and use the tool in conjunction with what you want as an end goal. And then still keep in mind that to be lean and toned and the whole package and the whole picture, you need both, right? So I think I wrote a post yesterday, and it was like, cucumbers are great and I eat them almost every day, but they don't tone your thighs, right? They can slim fat off of you, but they're not going to give you muscle definition, because that's not what muscle definition is. Just like, you know, doing cardio burns fat, and it's not like a bicep curl, right? Like you're moving your arm if you're running or whatever, but you're not like specifically targeting and like reps with weights, resistance. So there's different things for different things. And that's the beautiful thing about a complete package, okay? So if you're gonna do the morning fast, then get up, do cardio, fasted, and then eat anytime, right? And then if you're doing it the other way, where you eat in the morning and you stop eating by like 3 or 4, then your options are wait at least 2 or 3 hours just to get the food digesting mostly done. You won't have the same kind of result for fat burning, but you'll still obviously be burning fat. But make sure that you have more time if you want to do cardio later at night. If you're like a night owl type person, then you could do that, or you could just get up earlier, depending, right? If your window of eating is like 8 to 3 or something like that, then you would get up and work out before 8 a.m., okay, for cardio. So you still need both. You need the cardio, you need the toning, and you need the diet that is posed for this consistent healthy elimination and nourishment, okay? So that's the plants aspect, okay? So let me see if there's anything else that I want to tell you. Who is it for? Who's it not for? So yeah, basically everybody can do it, and there's no magic number. It doesn't have to be 12 hours, 16 or whatever. And the other thing is, it might not resonate with you just based on your human design, but everybody can, like I said, no matter what your human design is, you can fast just by not eating overnight for a while. That's smart, and your body has to have space, okay? So the more window you give, it's just a little bit more time and space and more ability for your body to work for you. But if you eat like really consistently and structured, then your job will just be to get up early enough to do your cardio before you eat, okay? That will be your work if you want the benefit of the fast. If you don't, then do whatever you want. Okay, yes, okay, now I want to tell you about also the mindset, right? So as long as you come into fasting with the mindset of, oh, this is like science, and this is how my gut works, and this is how digestive energy works, and this is how I can play with the natural rhythm and energy of my body by putting my workout at this certain time of day versus here, then I'm going to maximize the benefit of my workout and my diet and all these things. Then it's just like being a smart person. And as long as you're not coming at it as like fasting, I can't eat because food is bad and calories and you know, like less is more, that type of thing. No, it's not that. It's just about like, how do you program your body to for weight loss? How do you program your body for efficiency? How do you program the body to have this like long, lean look? Well, that's just using your brain and using the knowledge that we have, okay? And so that's all it is. So just make sure that your mindset is one of like, oh, this is awesome information and I'm gonna use it and I'm excited to use it. And again, that's where you back yourself when you're like, I understand how this works, that makes sense to me, so I'm going to now do it with the understanding of like, this works and this is gonna work for me because why wouldn't it, you know? Okay, and that's really powerful for all things. So, so that's just like one aspect of the formula that I am doing in Plants Plus Pilates. So how you get your long, lean Pilates body, or I guess you could say yoga butt, but I'm a Pilates teacher, so that is why we're saying Pilates body instead. So fasting is just one part of the formula that we use to get you there, okay? So I decided last week, at the end of last week, or this week, I can't remember what day it is, just a few days ago, that I'm going to do Plants Plus Pilates as an 8-week live group coaching program instead of how I had it last time, which was like a 6-week digital where you just do the workouts and you have the check-ins for accountability with like not the coaching aspect and not the coaching calls, because this is everything, you guys. This is how you get toned, and this is how you do this in a healthy way. And I don't want you to only have half of the equation, right? It's so important what we eat. It's like so important, right? Like I was talking about, it's critical to imprinting your cells with the messages of health and cleansing, which is how you make the changes and how your body makes the changes for you. You have to have healthy elimination. So we have to have the plants, and we have to have, like I said, you have to do the cardio for accelerated fat loss, and then you do the Pilates, the strength training, your own body weight for the toning, for the strength, and to get lean out. And so you can see the leaning out when you do the cardio to get the fat off, which is combination with the diet, okay? And then, of course, it's always mindset. It's always, are you gonna show up? How are you going to show up? And are you all in? And are you ready? So, you know, if you're ready to get to the end of the year, which has been this psycho crazy year, and feel really good in your body and feel like you can land at this place where it isn't like a hard workout that you have to start and stop. It's just it's an integrated doing of like holistic health and functional alignment, and just pulling everything up and in and tightening and toning and falling in love with the method that gets you the outcome that you want, right? So you're not going to get long and lean doing a lot of squats, and you're not going to get long and lean doing heavy weights, and you're not going to get long and lean jumping on boxes and all these things unless you are like a naturally skinny person that just needs to tone up, okay? But if you need to reduce the fat, then you have to do that part too. So I wanted to make sure that everything was there and that I could be there with you and take you through it. So if you want to be able to have everything, if you want to be able to have the food plan, how to do that, how to eat consistently, how to do it, whether you're vegan or just plant-based, whole food plant-based, that's fine. And you can do it either way. And I'm going to teach you how to put the foods together, just like with the workouts and the fasting, how you can do that and do it consistently and then repeat it, right? So habits are formed with repetition, and this is what it takes to shift, to tone, to lean out. You've got to be consistent and show up for it, and then it works. And you will come out on the other side, obviously healthy, but also longer and leaner. And the biggest thing that I think I always wanted was like to feel good in my clothes and to feel good in my stomach, right? Like, so when you eat the right way and you work out the right way, you don't have to worry about like bloating and your stomach not releasing weight, or anywhere in the body really. So if you missed my video last week on like, can you spot reduce, there's one in the group, and just search for it in the search bar, because you can, okay? So you can do anything for the body, but you have to have the right mindset, okay? So the sales page is not quite ready, but right now it's early bird, and there's a $200 off for early bird enrollment. Now, if you have ever done Food Rebels with me or Fueled and Focused, then message me if you want to do this, because I'm going to give you a massive coupon to do the boot camp. Okay, so now it's 8-week boot camp, and we start the week of the 19th, but the first call is October 22nd. So we'll get you right up to, oh shoot, New Year's Eve, ready to wear whatever you want to wear and look amazing in it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go because Dash is eating my cord. But if you want the details to sign up, then just send me a message, and then I'll let you know for sure when I get the details on my website, okay? All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.